Hi, and welcome back to Eyes Are Open. Today we're going to be talking about Illuminati card game, Mudfossils, giants, even Torah codes. So let's go ahead and get started. Some of the things that I found out while investigating the Illuminati card game, that it was released in 1995. Um, it was supposed to be released before then, but it was actually seized by the FBI in the year around 1990. And the card game is based also on a book from 1975 called the Illuminatus Trilogy. The group Illuminati actually comes from Barbarian Illuminati, was formed under the one Adam Weishaupt. The group was actually formed in the year 1776, May 1st to be exact. And if we think about the year 1776, it also should allude you to America, because we were actually birthed the same year, 1776, but of course, July 4th. Just a few months separate from that, though, the Illuminati had formed, and America became a nation in that same year. The Illuminati was forced to disband in the year 1785 or 86. The Illuminati supposedly disband, but if you know them, they work under a lot of guises and a lot of different names, and they have not actually disbanded. They are still existent today. This Flat Earthers card is odd. When I look at it, first of all, I see a very weird Google Earth image. Google Earth, of course, is not flat. That is a sphere type of deal. But when I see this, I see Google Earth. Okay. So with that being said, let's just jump right in. The card actually reads, "People laugh, but the flat earthers know something." And it goes on to say some of the part of the game, but we're going to skip that part. And it also says, "Flat earthers' weird alternate geology has led them to a gold strike." Okay, and we're looking at a picture of a rock with gold, all encrusted and embedded inside of it. Here we're also looking at a rock, and also in the spot he's pointing to is most likely blood or a biological element of such. Again, you see the gold vein running across, and again with the black on the end. Here we have gold feet. This is all accredited to Roger at Mudfossil University. This is his research here. It just happens to overlink with mine. Here's the Google Earth image of the mermaid God told me about a few weeks ago. And as you can see, she is gigantic. She literally runs the entire West Coast all the way down to the tip of South America. She is huge. I personally think that she might be one of the giants that Enoch references. 3,000 L's. That to me looks like 3,000 L's to me. I mean, I don't know, but and that's relatively gigantic. And this research is going to be very complex, to say the least. So let's continue looking at some of these more Google Earth images. This is of her face. You can see both eyes. They deteriorated differently. Here's her eye. And look at this. Boom. There's that. Skeletal structure of an eyeball and an eyeball. One more time. Okay, so give you kind of an idea where Google Earth is now leading. And we also have her chest area as you follow down. And there's a separate video about the mermaid if you are interested. Actually, Roger at Mudfossil covered the top half of her body the other day, but not the bottom half of her tail. She is a bit weird. Here is a mud fossil of Florida, but it is, to me, looks like a snake. And as you can see here, this would be one of its eyes right here. and this is the other eye over here in Fort Myers, over there. And course key, the keys would be its tongue. But as you can see, this one is a little bit better. Key West, here we go. Clearly connected to this structure here. And then for visual effect, we got the skull of a snake here also. And it's very, very similar. Very, very similar in its composition and structure. Okay, we got here a dragon from Arkansas, Mississippi area. Here's another, and this is around Tibet. We did a separate documentary on that too. This is of Africa. I just got it on its side to show the horse or donkey-like structure there. This is down here in the dirt, in the desert here. We got a dragon and a fish. Roger at Mudfossil again had found these. But my point again, linking back to that Flat Earthers card, is there's a lot of biology here on Earth. This is a semen here. Up close and personal view there. Even got DNA down here. Roger again at Mudfossil found this. Some sort of embryo in the desert. Closer view. It's actually a place where people live. Inside of some place inside of there. This is a gold, quote unquote, wire. But it's really not a wire. It's actually a gold vein. So, moving right along with the gold, the rocks, and the mud fossils. Here we have evidence of smaller giants. These are around roughly between the 1800s and the 1900s. These giant skeletons were found all throughout the Americas. Probably other places also, but specifically in the Americas, as I have documents for, newspaper clippings from. We're not going to read these. The relevance of this is not really just the fact that they are here. You can pull them up for yourself. There is lots of them. And this one says Paris. So, Boston, Ohio, and either way, this is a map of all the smaller giants that have been found through newspaper articles and as such. Something interesting that nobody has linked yet that I would like to go ahead and say is that this is where the mermaid mud fossil is. Okay. And I just happened to show you several mud fossils just happen to be in the United States. And here we have the dragon right here. We have the snake right here. And of course, I don't know what's right here, but clearly there's some sort of gigantic mud fossil here because this is where the pile of the smaller giants went to. And it's my hypothesis that the larger giants died out because of the flood, and the giants after the flood came to the locations where the mud fossils were. I don't know if it was due to rich soil or diamonds and gold or really what the draw was, but you can clearly see that there is a lot of overlap between the mud fossils from Google Earth and giants, period. Giants of the 3,000 foot size, or the giants of, I would guess, between 7 feet and 36 feet. They do vary in sizes. And it is also my hypothesis that the giants are still alive today. Here we see a giant skeletons here. I try to stay away from any kind of pictures due to the fact that I can't confirm or verify the picture further, you know. So we just went with hard newspaper articles from like the New York Times and such. And this, of course, is not, but it suggests of a Smithsonian cover-up of giant skeletons. And that would make sense because they are covering up the giants under them. The large giants, the giants that were killed in the flood of Noah. Here we have one article here that shows that these bones have been sent for further investigation to the Smithsonian. And that's the last we hear of this whole thing. Here we have a mud fossil giant with an elongated skull, which is something that we're going to be jumping right into now. They often have dark reddish hair, and their skulls are elongated in kind of a couple different ways, but tall skulls. Here's one here. It's got like a wave through it. And this is Brian Forster's work. He does a lot of Paraka skulls, and he has skulls of babies with the elongated heads. He has regular skulls, and he has elongated skulls. And if you know, we did some research on elongated skulls not that long ago. We researched down in Tibet, and their research in the 1930s through the 1940s, where they were looking at mud fossils, where they were taking all kinds of sizes of people's heads and faces and ears and looking for the Aryan, if you will, but I say Nephilim or giant. Giant is the translation of the Hebrew word Nephilim. And here we see from the Egyptian side of things, they also have elongated and odd-shaped skulls. Again, this is the Brian Forster's work here. Here is this one. Very elongated, very big skull. And this is from the Tibetan research here. And it's just saying that they're looking for the long-headed, which is a sure sign of Nordic to some of the Nazi theorists. And long-headed, there is skulls of that nature. Mud fossil version and a smaller version. Here we see Beager right here, just taking cranial measurements, looking for that elongated skull. Again, we see the same. Here I've included the Tibetan map, which is also one of the mud fossils that I found. So it makes sense that they went to Tibet, where there was a gigantic mud fossil, and took samples of the rocks in the 1930s, which would be DNA testing or DNA gathering, if you want. And then here we have them looking for the smaller giants. And today's giants. Look at that skull. Yes, I know it's not as huge as what we had been seeing, but it's still of that same shape. And this is Rothschild. And he is behind the Illuminati. He is a part of such the group. And there he is, and with his elongated head. And here we have a little collage I put together, just to help y'all see that a little more clearly. And here we have the Torah Codes. Torah Codes with the world flood. And you can find this Torah code here in between Leviticus 18:9 through Numbers 10:28. And we are not going to go through the whole table. This is not my specialty, just something I wanted to link, because it shows some of the words that we be using. So we're going to have Elohim here. We have heavenly, meteor, rainbow, world flood, ark, breath, breathing, men, people, death, demise, destruction, fossil, archaic, tabernacle, dove, behemoth, leviathan. I can't read the ones on the bottom. They're too blurry for me. I'm sorry. One is Nephilim here, Noah and his sons. Evidence, women, wife, Israel, sacrifice, We got Enoch, Yeshua, umbrella, credible, reliable. I do wish I could read the bottom ones though, but I think it makes its own cause. You can always reference this. There's a woman who makes these videos, I believe, on YouTube. Again, this is another one of hers. And this one is for fossilization, which occurs in Genesis 1, verse 2 through 12 through 1. And we have vertebra, spine, mortality, to dig, to mine, corpse, body, atmosphere, believer, turmoil, panic, Enoch, ark, chemist, to sort, water, life, fossil, dug, mind, sorting, ozone, leviathan, rocks. There's 2 rocks in there. Examination, violent, greenhouse, heaven, sky, actually, accelerated, clay, Elohim, Yeshua, the flood, outline, contour, variance, fossil, ancient, of bone. So that gives you a quick overview of exactly what we were thinking of Mudfossils, Illuminati card game, Torah Codes, giants. And here we have some other types of, I refer to them as, before Mudfossils, I was researching them under rock giants, or the rocks were alive. There you can find videos on either one of those names on YouTube or on Mudfossil also. And this is a picture of what looks to be an eye that they have gone in and carved out with a path. Some sort of reptile-ish type of mud fossil, or rock giant, or the rocks were alive. And this one is a mud fossil on Earth, a true history documentary by Josh Stone. And this is a really weird chimera or sphinx type of deal here. And I believe that's in the Americas. And I wanted to go back. And typically we would be ending with Bible verses or some sort of Bible passages to read. But today, with this information given, is too much to try to include that also. In these times, be ye not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. So have comfort that Jesus is still with us, and his people, his elect, and his righteous. We need to get this information out to everyone, though, at a wide scale. Pretty much like a mass information exchange. Everybody's research that is correlating to anything about flat Earth, which I don't believe the Earth is flat. Maybe it was once flat, but clearly the Bible says the world is circular, and it uses the word circular. So we're definitely not going with a square. And I use Google Earth a lot, so I have a hard time dealing with the fact that the Earth probably is close to a sphere-like shape. Maybe not a perfectly formed sphere, but similar nonetheless. And but this image is wrong, funny, and I think it points to mud fossils. We got gold blood, and you can watch his videos here. Explains them more in depth. I'm not a scientist or anything like that. I read Bible and study Bible prophecy a lot, and God gave me the mermaid, and that was a unique night there, and actually is the reason why I started this whole channel, because really God put it on my heart to really do not only just read the Bible to myself at home and pray and do all the things I'm supposed to do, but also wanted to reveal some big truths. Here's the mermaid here. There's the snake head here. We got the dragon right here. And Roger at Mudfossil found the dragon right here. But the snake right here of Florida is me, and so is the mermaid, was given to me by God. And I'm not sure, but that big giant map we were looking at earlier showed a cluster of smaller giants right in through here. So you would assume that there has to be some sort of fossilization of something pretty unique for them to pile up right there in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, probably Wisconsin, and also a lot of newspaper articles came from those places also. Another, I don't think a coincidence, but another building block for ourselves to put together. And we got an eye here and an eye here. And this one I really like the best. It really does show about the same size ratio and everything also, which is very unique. And we got this, and I mean, these are for sure too specific to be just regular natural land formations. And I think also too, maybe linking sinkholes to some of these type of deals here, or a hollow earth even. Maybe some parts of the earth are hollow because the skeletons have bone and, well, they have, I don't know, muscle and fleshy stuff in the middle of the bones, and that rots out. So, which would create a hollow type-ish earth. Especially this right here would be obviously a very hollow earth. And again, with Africa, if Africa is a gigantic mud fossil donkey head or horse or some type of that nature or something, of course there's going to be a lot of gold confounding out of these places, even the California gold rush. But yeah, I would see this being what the card is alluding to. The card is alluding to mud fossil, and not necessarily a flat earth per se, but they like to discredit us with, because this information is very overwhelming. These pictures speak for themselves clearly. There's been no editing, no photoshopping of any kind at all. Just screenshots of the exact image right off of Google Earth. As you can see, the coordinates is on the bottom down here. And you can also watch, this came from Roger at Mudfossil 2. I'm not going to link anything. My research is very open and researching on top of other research. So just correlates to what I've been given, and I need to share all of these as a whole because it doesn't make sense all separate. And this right here. Now, if you remember, this is where the mermaid is, all down through here, and her tail actually continues to go. But these are a lot of giants through there, and clearly all through this right here is very, very much too. But we're not sure what mud fossil is there, but I speculate that there's going to be a pretty big one through here, and maybe even this is where the dragon head is here and the Florida snake head here. Made a video about the Florida snake head. You can look at some pictures on Google Earth, or you can just go yourself to Google Earth and look at that for yourself. Same thing with the mermaid and even the dragon. They're all right there on the United States. They're pretty easy to find, especially now that you've seen them. You won't be able to unsee them type of deal. And yeah, so let's go ahead and end. And most likely the Smithsonian is involved in some sort of giant cover-up on both sides of it. If you want to think about the giants of mud fossils, they covered them up, hit them. Geology is more like biology. Anyways, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Please write some comments down. I've been posting videos and I have no feedback. And I'll be putting more videos out there as God allows me to have the information and the concepts given. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time. Bye.